Namaskar and welcome to this exciting show of Sattology, Debunking Mythology. We have a very special guest coming first time on this show today. And before he speaks, he'll speak about himself. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the historicity of Mahabharata. Some of the most researched ancient scripture in the world, even in the US. If you have some dean of some Hindu studies in Harvard, they are going to comment on Mahabharata and Ramayana because they have nothing else to comment on their own scriptures. So therefore, they are commenting on Ramayana, Mahabharata. Unfortunately for Indians and people from who are originally from Bharat, they have to listen to such boring commentaries. But today we are going to throw light on one episode which has been grossly misinterpreted in my last book as well, which was launched just 2 days back, the number one bestseller on Amazon today. And also we have a guest joining us from India, Shri Gopal Goswami. So welcome Gopalji. Namaskar.
Namaste. Namaste to all our friends in the USA, from India and from US.
So
I'm Gopal Goswami.
Gopal Goswami ji, please can you tell us viewers about yourself?
Uh, uh, see, I'm a learner of Sanatan. Each passing day, I used to learn something out of some conversation, some reading, some experiences from the nature, from the books, and from the people, from our great Sant. I used to be in company of the great thinker of our ancient lineage, the Maharshi Rishis. And formally, I am a research scholar in NIT Surat, that is the National Institute of Technology Surat, doing some modern type of studies. Uh, so I'm a post graduate in public administration, and I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business, and I belong to the hill state of the land of Shiva, Shivalik Hills, Almora, Uttarakhand. And now I'm settled in Surat since last 25, 26 years. And in the process of returning to the roots, within 1 year or two, I'll be shifting back to Himalaya for my studies and for to serve the ultimate. And meanwhile, I used to read, I used to write. That's it. It's a great
So,
opportunity to be among the great scholars. I definitely, I will have some comments like the direction I'm heading to will depend upon the comments we get from the people who are listening to us. All of them, welcome.
so you chose a very interesting topic on Eklavya in Mahabharata, which is some people in the modern times to people who have no idea about Mahabharata, they comment on that incident to be an incident of exploitation and thereby putting a blame. So when somebody says this, so that means they're accusing somebody else. They're three times accusing themselves because three fingers point to them and one to God. And then so what is the truth in that?
First of all, the mythology. You are doing a great job. The Sattology is debunking the mythology, and mythology itself is mythology, as per me. It is to be researched how this term came into existence. You'll find it very easily. And for me, the mythologists, what they do, actually, what you said that they don't have anything. So they started studying the scriptures and they started interpreting the things their own way. First of all, we talk about Mahabharata and Ramayana. So the mythologists, they used to uh, do appropriation of these two scriptures, historical documents, as a uh, as per their convenient. Times they call it mythology, and time they quote it as a history. For example, when they refer that the Hindus they had the Varna system and they have Shudra, they exploited them. At that time, they will refer to incident like Eklavya, like Karna, like from Ramayana, many characters from Ramayana. If you ask them one question, simple question I ask them, Ramayana or Mahabharata, they are history or mythology. If it is history, I'm ready to apologize from the part of Drona right now for some time. I ready to apologize from my ancestor. They did great mistakes. They committed great crime against the poor guy called Eklavya. But they don't accept it as a history. They call it mythology. So if it is a mythology, then the imagination can be anything. Why to make a hue of cry out of one mythology or some imagination of somebody who has imagined some story and uh, one character called Eklavya and Dronacharya. They were in collusion and they did. It's a mythology. Why to bother about it? Why to quote it while quoting the Hindus, the world system? So they are big farce. They are taking it as per their convenience. I will like to quote two incidents before heading to Eklavya episode. Right now, I live in Gujarat. From where I live, Surat, within Surat city, at the distance of around 60 to 70 kilometers away, it is a place called Anaval. Please, most of people, many people from Gujarat and Anavils must be those who are in the lineage of Anavil Brahmins. They must be listening this talk. So Anavil is a place where Bhagwan, according to the Ramayana, Bhagwan Ram came at the ashram of Shabri and they performed a yajna with the because you need at least 7, 11 Brahmins to perform a yajna along with you. So what did he did? He called people from the around Sabri's neighbors. You come please, and we will perform the yajna along with you. So that day, they has been their sanskar has been done, and they performed the yajna. And these people, 7 or 11 people, called Anavil Brahmin because of the place where they were cultured from Bhil community to as a Brahmin. Means they started performing the rituals and they become a Brahmin with the knowledge, and they started their lives with those values and ethos. So they become Anavil Brahmin, and as on day, if you ask any Brahmin, Anavil Brahmin, they are Desais, Nayaks, Vashi, and two, three more titles. You can ask them; they will tell you that we are from that lineage. We perform our ancestors performed yajna along with Bhagwan Ram. So, is it history or mythology? There are people exist who tell that Ram came to this place and they performed yajna along with my ancestor. Second incident: if you go to Himalaya, Uttarakhand, where Pandavas Pandav, they went after completing means the yajna was complete. They, along with Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, they went up to Himalaya. There is a place called Roopkund in Himalaya. It is in the Rudraprayag district, Chamoli district, sorry. It is around 5 to 6,000 meter altitude. There is a lake called Roopkund. And in the Roopkund lake, there are skeletons of the length of more than 8 feet. See, we human beings, we are almost in India or that side, China. We never seen people, average people height 8 feet. So there are many number of skeleton laying in that lake, which are still intact. One can go there, Discovery, Geographical Channel. They all have done carbon dating. So they found that some of the skeleton were very means they were from the ancient time. Some they found it around 900 BC, CE, and some were very old. What I believe, that place where the Pandava went into the Himalaya is the Rupkund, where they immersed themselves in the lake and they ended their lives. Is that history or not? Now, many of the peoples in the audience, they must be listening this. I request you, I urge you to go verify this dating. What I am referring to is very old, when techniques were not available as advanced as today they are. We must go and try and test those things whether they were Pandavas or not. Two things. So there are evidences clearly where mythology is history. Now I would like to come to that subject point, Eklavya. All of our rishis, our maharshis, our gurus, acharya, they were Trikaldarshi. They could see the present, past, and future as well. They were of so much higher spiritual power that they could see the things coming on the way also. Now, this boy, Eklavya, we'll talk about that. He's a jungle boy. Guru Drone, he's such a great guru.
Uh,
He has taught many disciples.
Before you continue, I want to ask you one question, and
Yeah,
based on the last point you said. So, what is the name of that lake you said? Can you repeat that for the audience?
that is Roopkund. Roopkund. You can
Ru-
search it on Google, Roopkund, in the district of Chamoli in Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand. Okay, okay. It's
And
good.
another place was at Anaval in Anaval Brahman. If you type, I think you will be able to search find the things.
Okay. Yeah,
Those
continue.
are history or not, let the people decide.
And this
So
Ekla,
Guru Drona was such a great, yeah, Eklavya. Guru Drona was such a great warrior, great guru. How can he be so mean that he will ask for a angutha? First of all, we should think that. Actually, what happens? Whatever we have been taught, we have been thrown the garbage upon us, and we react upon that. We don't go and find the source from where it has been thrown. We don't try to identify, verify it. So Guru Drona was such a great guru that Eklavya wanted to get educated archery. He wanted to learn archery under him. But Guru Drona was in a contractual obligation with the government, the Kuru kingdom. He was in the contract that he will teach only the Rajkumars, the prince. He will teach them, only them. So he was in contractual obligation. So when Eklab's father came to Guru Drona, so he shown his inability. It's like if I am working for Google, so I can't go and work for Facebook or Twitter or some other company. So he was contractually obligated by the government, by the kingdom. He refused Eklavya that though he is a bright child, but I am unable to give him shiksha because of my this obligation. I am limited to this. I am bounded by the obligation. So Eklavya was so obsessed with Guru Drona. He was so respectful to Guru Drona. He decided to learn archery under his blessing, but remotely. He has made carved one statue out of the mud of Dronacharya and started practicing. You know what? When compassion and you tend to learn something, you want to be master of some art, then the one kind of madness comes to you and you become a master. See, most of the great people, the great scientists, they are believed to be eccentric. So Eklavya started archery, practicing archery alone in front of the statue of Drona. that we all know. One day, what happened when he filled the mouth of one dog harmlessly with the arrows, full of arrows that the dog could not bark. So that day, when Guru Drona seen that scene, so he was amazed by the uh, performance of the archer. So they searched for him, and they found that this boy is doing the great archery. So Guru Drona blessed him. Who is your guru? So he said, you are only my guru. And then Guru Drona told him what happened. Then he told that story, all that statue and everything. So there was one thing what Arjuna was going through this conversation. Guru Drona told him that you are the greatest archer of this planet. And the same time, Arjun asked a question to Guru. Guruji, you have promised me to make me a world class, yes, world's top most archer. So how come this thing happened? So this thing has been picked up by that boy, Eklavya. You can imagine one boy who has been so much obsessed by a guru, how he can afford to see the disrespect to his uh, greatness. So without wasting a moment, he chopped his thumb and surrendered to it to Guru Drona that this is my Guru Dakshina. And Guru Drona repented on what happened. He has shown immense, he wept in front of that boy that he has done such a thing. Now one can imagine a boy, a great archer, who spent his entire hard work to safeguard the greatness of his guru, has been labeled as a poor jungly boy who has been fooled by Guru Drona and Arjun. I have greater respect for Eklavya than Arjun. But what we are taught, then Eklavya was fooled and his thumb got chopped, means begged by Drona as a Guru Dakshina. There is nothing like the Guru Dakshina. It was his devotion towards his Guru, respect towards his Guru, that he has not spent a second to sacrifice his thumb to the in respect of his Guru. Now, we have to decide whether he was a poor boy who has been abused, exploited by Dronacharya, or he was the greatest of the disciples ever born in the history of mankind. It's up to you.
Great point you made. The most of the mythologists, here at Sattology channel, which is a true antonym of mythology, we try to debunk the mythological proportions of lies being spread against the Vedic cultures and the history. Sometimes these mythologists they bring a logic, so they suddenly mix social dynamics with history. Now, the history can never lie if it is well documented. History can lie if it is purposefully misdocumented. Uh, so, like for example, the history of invasion of India through Alexander. Now, Alexander ran away from India. He conquered Pakistan, which is today Pakistan, and he ran away from there because it was a Hindu country at that time. And while going back, he died in Babylon, which is Basra, or sometimes Bhagada is known as Baghdad. So they were all ancient territories where Hinduism was very prominent during that time. Now, coming back to this Eklavya story, the biggest lie which has been told to most of the world is a great injustice was done based on the theory of political, again bringing politics and mixing with history. And so, one thing is that not everything is politics because there has to be some facts, but there is no gain to anyone other than humiliation. So humiliating someone else or trying to show someone down by presenting history in a deformed way. Now, after the Eklavya gave his thumb, Dronacharya did teach him archery with fingers, and he became a very good archer. His speed was not that high as Karna, as compared to Karna, but he was very accurate. And we have seen Mahabharat war how accurate he was. So Dronacharya did reward him, and this aspect has been hidden. So, and even today, the world archery, all the archery competitions, they don't use thumb; they use fingers. Till date, use three fingers. My kids are archery state champs in California. They use these three fingers, and even today, it is very common there. So, my question to the people who are doubting this story and that they are questioning this story as some kind of a upper caste discrimination against lower caste discrimination. Do you see it that way?
See what happens when we were talking, referring about that Anavil Brahmins. So actually, they were the tribals, the Bhil community. So when they became, they started living with the virtues of Brahmins. So their thinking, their thought process, their food, everything has been changed, and so their wisdom level. Some people remain in the forest, some people came into the urban dwellings, the villages, and they progressed with the time, and some remain in the forest. So, as we say, we are aboriginal of city, they are aboriginal of village, some are or aboriginal of the jungles, but we all are aboriginal of this place. Now, one point I would like to add here: why our youth and our new generation is misled, because they has been told that there was no such thing, no such thing could have happened that time, because at the same time in the history, Europe was covering their body with the leaves. Why? Some question will be arise. Then why these people are defaming Hindu, Sanatan Hindu Dharma or our history? So it is to superimpose ourselves in our mind, on our minds, that you are inferior. Then only you will be able to control us. For example, when we talk that Sanjay was live telecasting the Mahabharata Yuddha from Kurukshetra to Indraprastha in front of uh, Dhritarashtra. So they will laugh. The modern mythologists and scientists, they will laugh. This kind of things in that way. People 100 years from now will laugh upon us that you took 18 hours to reach from Mumbai to Chicago or Mumbai to New York. They will laugh upon us that तुम बैलगाड़ी में चलते थे क्या तब 18 hours we come in within half an hour, or many things which yet to be discovered, or which the science, modern science has not yet to reach, is the real time transmission of the body, like Narada, Rishi Narad used to do. Anywhere he was just manifestation of his body at any place, any time. So it is a real time body transmission that is yet to be done. And our young scientists were studying in US or in India, they have the challenges, many challenges. They can think about these things, and they can do the mass to light, then again mass, the transition of the energy. So you will be able to transmit your body. Like I want one-to-one conversation with you in your studio. I can come just now, and we can have a conversation. I will be back here. So this will also happen. This coming generation will see this, and that day they will laugh upon us. That 18 hours from India to America. So same thing. We today we are laughing. Can we imagine this thing, this technology, what we are just now going through 20 years back? must be a fascination, a dreaming, but it is reality today. In the same way, that time also things were there. The Rigveda itself says in some slok, आप धरती जल और नभ में मुझे उड़ने की शक्ति दें, while performing yajna to Agni. So we used to call that. So that means the flying was very much there. The sea was very much there. Everything was there. But only thing was missing is we were working. Our historians, our methodologists, our uh, people were working on payrolls of some peoples.
Another big misconception is that when we look at the ancient history, and as mentioned, so India has the most well documented history of the world. Other people are still building their history, and that's why the mythology is coming in. So they are, if you go to Vatican is a museum of Hindu sculptures, Coptic cultures, and other places. If you ever been there, and all the history of India is also going in the same direction. At one day, Hinduism will become a museum where all your Ram, Krishna, or deities will be kept in the museums, and the Hindu mothers or the mothers in India will tell their children, "This we used to follow this culture in the past." And that's the major objective of the Western civilization is to destroy the ancient cultures so that they can make more profit. That's the only logic. Because all the ancient cultures are built on nature. They respect sun, they respect moon, they respect earth. Now, it has already happened in South America.
Yes, yes.
So
The
in
Maya and Inca, yes.
the entire civilizations in just last 500 years is disappeared. I mean, and today they have to fight for survival, and
Yes.
and they have gone into the forests where they are living there. And even though they are the original inhabitants of the land, and I'll give one just example. In USA, they were given citizenship. Native Americans were given citizenship of USA in 1924 by the European settlers.
Not 21, I think 65, 62.
No,
Okay.
1924. 1924 they were recognized. So the same thing is happening with India, starting with the leftist institutions, and they first decredit or discredit that the entire history is mythology. It never was real. It is made up by someone, Vyasadeva, who is an author. So minimizing everybody. Narad is a fictional character, and in the media they'll show Narad as a patrakar, as a journalist, and in so this is minimizing gradually, and Indian textbooks have picked up that they are minimizing. They're showing them as a patrakar, chugalkhor in Hindi you call them. He's saying he busybody, saying one thing here, one thing there. So this is the minimizing of all these characters, and gradually it will come. The minds of the young Indians will say, "This is not real. It's all fake, and you guys are religious." So again, the point of religion is brought in. That your religion. So in the West, the religion means keep your brain in a cupboard or in a washing machine and keep washing it over. That's the religion means in the Western society. So for them, because everything is made up, all their Brahmic literatures are made up. We know that. Everybody knows that they are being created at a certain date in time. But with Vedic culture, it predates so much back. So they'll say Vyasdev appeared just 500 BC, or Vyasdev appeared just after BC. And the idea is to fill the dates between BC and AD. 2500
Very
is
clever.
a benchmark. Very
Very
clever.
clever. What they do, they don't want to give us credit beyond that Judaism came into existence. No?
Correct. Correct.
So this Semitic, the Abrahamic religion, they don't want to go us beyond that period.
Yeah.
Means we are from the same time. Means 300 BC was the time when Judaism also came, Hinduism also came. Then you will fraction it, Sanatan. Jainism came, Buddhism came. So we will bifurcate the Sanatan. See, basically, these all are branches of tree of the Sanatan culture only. People who are listening right now, I would like to request them uh, that the kind of education today we are being given in India. I'm talking about India. One day, not one day, people started challenging their parents that you show us the proof that you are our real father and mother. This has the level
No,
we are reaching with the modern education.
so the ultimate goal is to completely remove the historicity of these literatures, like like questioning Rig Veda. Now, Rig Veda is existing from time immemorial. Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajurveda, the Third Veda, very old scriptures, and the dates of Buddha have also been taught wrong. Because
Yes,
if you appeared in Chandragupta Maurya's period, then it has to be around 1250 years after Krishna left the planet. That's where Buddha appeared. Around 1300 years, 1400 years. Now, where are they? Where these mythologists are going, and the entire education system is owned by them, whether it's India or the US, is they are telling us something which is factually not there. And the private individuals like myself, you, and many other people who are working in the private capacity, we don't have much say in this. We're helpless. We're just trying to say whatever we know, but there is no institutional backing which can give us credibility in the so that our textbooks can be changed. But now, so what is your work in this area where we need to really effect a change in the mainstream education?
we see. We are working with many gurukuls. I will let you speak to someday. I will arrange a meeting with Gopal Sutaria. So Gopal Sutaria is known to Nilesh also. He has one big gosala with desi cows, and he has started up one gurukul also. So and we are trying to revive the Vedic learnings by setting up some Vedsalas and putting up efforts to revive or to at least continue with uh, the things, the historical uh, means heritage we have. At the same time, the government of India is also serious about the education, primary education. Recently, the new education policy has come, so we, with our other organizations, we contribute in building that education policy also. Lot many institutions, many organizations, many thinkers, they have contributed in that education policy. And we are trying that at least up to primary education level, there is no foreign language or only Indian language. The stuff what they will be taught will be Indian culture, the etiquettes, and our scriptures. If we succeed and continuously work for next 25 years, then we'll be able to see some result in coming days. But not to worry, I'm not that much afraid because one Manu has created the entire mankind. So if we have one sadhu, we will this planet left with one Hindu sadhu, we will be able to revive this planet, this mankind again. That I believe.
Yeah, I think there are many people working there, and I totally echo the same sentiment you have. We are one more.
One thing I would like to the people those who are watching right now, they must be great engineers, they doctors, great means technocrats, the future CEOs. Uh, See this um, Indian heritage still very much alive. If you go to Himalaya today, There are rishis, they are tapasvis who have immense power, spiritual power. They look like a normal person, but they are in sadhana since many hundred years. This is true. This is not mythology. I'm not. I'm not telling anything, any joke. This is for real. You visit the Himalayas as a wanderer. You go there, you get lost, and you will find people, saints, great sages, tapasvis who are still sitting in the caves, and they have immense power. They have immense power, and you can feel the energy with their blessings. There is nothing, no mythology, the spiritual powers. You also can grow in yourself with the practicing of this yoga and dhyana.
So thank you very much, Gopal Goswamiji, and viewers. Uh, do watch this video when the recording comes out live on YouTube. Comment on it and let us know your feedback. And also become a member of Sattology YouTube video channel where you can get regular subscription and regular content. So thank you all for joining, and thank you Gopal Goswamiji for sharing your valuable time with us, and
You
wishing you rest of your weekend back. Namaskar. Thank you.